and the Washington Redskins, 106.7 WJFK.
Hi, buddies. Live on a Wednesday. It's Ron and Fez. Ron Bennington, Fez Watley with you. 866-277-4969 is the toll-free phone number. Ryan, did you see the kids on Long Island? They'd been arrested. They were going to a party. I guess this happened back around Thanksgiving time.
Right.
They're going to a party. They want to make a nice impression, all right? There's some nice goth kids, so they want to do things right at this party. They went to a cemetery and dug up remains to take to this party with them. 2 skulls and then a full corpse.
So they were like grave robbers?
Yeah, they broke into the grave. So, I mean, these people, they've been dead for decades. One of them died in 1933. The other one died in 1928. One of them died in 1896. Not that it makes it right.
Now, these are just skeletons?
Yeah. So they hijacked a couple skulls and then stole one guy's whole body.
Now, the skeleton stays there for that long, over like 100 years?
I guess so.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess everything else finally decomposed off of them. I'm not sure how that works, but apparently the skeletons were still available.
I wonder how long before those bones turn to dust. I mean, your bones just lay there for 120 years? That's weird.
Yeah, the one guy was dead in 1896, so well over 100 years.
Bizarre.
So they take it to this party. They take this full body. Ronnie, they dress up the dead guy, who they identified as Elmer Grandin. He was a former Broadway actor and appeared in some silent films. They had him dressed up as Darth Vader. And we're putting, funny sunglasses on him as well, too.
Did the other kids realize this was a real body? This was a real skeleton?
Yeah, when they showed up at a girl's house who was having the party, and the girl's mother said she was in shock that they brought a corpse to their house. She started freaking out, the girl did, who was throwing the party, screaming at them to get out of my house with that.
Those fat girls always do that when they have a party. They think everybody's coming over and it's all going to be great.
Right.
And then they start screaming, "You're ruining my house."
It happens every time.
Yeah.
Whether someone brings over a corpse or just jumps in the pool.
Right.
Without a hairnet.
No matter what happens, they think that their house is, and they want it over. And nobody will leave.
So what they did was they left the party. They dumped the body and the skulls in a drainage ditch. And then what happened, of course, is they go back to school. They're bragging about the fact that they robbed a cemetery.
So, first of all, the mother never dimes them out. They bring up corpses to the house, and she never calls the police. She says, "Get out."
She said, let's see. She said it was more like a stupid prank. I know it sounds sick. But apparently they started bragging about it so much at school that the teachers, who didn't believe them at first.
The adults.
Right.
Not the mother, the other adult.
Right, the teachers, they check with the cemetery to see if any graves have been vandalized. Cemetery says, yeah. Then, not even the cemetery, the teachers call the cops about this.
The cemetery just says, yeah, we're missing a couple bodies. What's the big deal?
Right.
Bizarre.
So, yes, we did have some graves vandalized. Now, the fact that these people died so long ago, there wasn't even any sort of family members around to say, hey, we have your Uncle Elmer, and he's wearing a Darth Vader suit.
Now, I had a guy working for me. He was one of the bartenders I had when I had my club. And he was telling me, now, this was a really decent, kind of a middle-aged guy. And it was something like in the 60s, he said. He and his friends dug up a grave, took the skull, and everybody drank out of it.
Really?
And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, me and my friends, we really wanted to bond, and we thought it was funny. And I go, do you still, because he had his own kids at the time. He had high school age kids. And I go, do you still think it's funny? He's like, it's pretty funny, and it's something that we always remember.
That is too wacky. To drink out of a skull, I wipe off a soda can before I drink out of it.
Sure.
And they're digging up a skull and drinking out of it.
And they passed it around. I guess it was like a double dog dare. Everybody had to do it.
Nice ritual for themselves.
Yeah. Well, I asked him, I go, were you a devil thing? He goes, no. It was like a party thing. Like we were partying.
Just filling someone's head probably with beer or wine.
Yeah. Cracking up the whole time.
And thinking it's hysterical. And wouldn't it pour out the eye sockets?
I don't know how I think it was just the skull cap part.
Yeah. All right, that's just That is, these kids, they have no idea. They don't realize look at them, there's a picture of them. A couple of, goth kids. So they don't even realize they've done anything.
What do you mean they don't realize? It's a ridiculous... if they went and kicked over the tombstones, they'd be too old for that. By the time you dig up the grave and go running down and dress up as a skeleton as Darth Vader. But you said all these people, it's not like they had kids or anything around. It wasn't like it was someone's grandmother.
Right, yeah. Everyone else had been, either moved out of the area. They couldn't find any descendants.
So really...
Uncle Darth.
Who's the crime against?
Well, it's destruction of some sort of private property.
What do they do with the bones in those old cemeteries when they, suddenly decide to put a highway in?
I don't know. I think they just move the graves and not the bodies. Like in Poltergeist.
So you think that they just run the highway directly over the old cemeteries?
Probably. If it's an old enough cemetery.
Yeah.
And there's nobody around. If everybody's long dead. I would imagine that. I don't know how else that will work.
What do you think the cutoff place for long dead is? 100 years or 50 years?
No,
50, like you couldn't do it to World War II veterans. People would go crazy.
Right. I would go a full 100. Yeah, so right now we could really start paving over people that died in 1903.
When you really look at it, you see some of those old graveyards, but not as many as there should be. People make a big deal of, there's revolutionary graves there. But there should be a hell of a lot more. We had millions of people living here, right?
Yeah, they should be everywhere with some sort of marker. And then some of those graves, the actual tombstones, they get so old themselves, you can't even read what's on there. They don't know who's where.
Yeah, they're all just kind of worn down and it's just flat.
Yeah, it's just like a brittle piece of rock at that point.
Do you ever see a lot of those old tombstones? There'll be like goblins and stuff on them.
Oh, yeah, they'll do a little gargoyle thing.
Why is that? What would they think? Because they were Christian people, and yet they put gargoyles and stuff there.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's just decorative or if they actually think, we'll put something on here to protect the dead person's body.
That's the way I always took it.
Scary and stupid.
All right, here's Matt. Matt, you're on the Run of Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Matt.
These kids, what they're going to be charged with is a crime against nature. Since the person's obviously not alive, they've been dead for so long. It's kind of weird, but you lose your rights when you die. So it's not like they can say, it's a crime because they dug this guy up. It's a crime against nature because this man's been dead and they brought him back up. And instead of just leaving him there in peace, they had brought him up. So that'd be a crime against nature. It's very weird, but they're going to be charged with the crime against nature.
Yeah, and it's vandalism too.
Yeah,
now, crime across, that's just like destroying a tree?
No, that's actually vandalism. A crime against nature, or it's kind of run together with the crime against humanity, like with the Nuremberg trials. It's kind of the same thing, except for those people were alive when they killed them. The only difference is the Nuremberg trials when the...
Yeah, I understand that, but how would you make the comparison with digging up a grave and what happened there?
Because it kind of runs together. That's where it gets shaky. It kind of runs together with the crime against nature and the crime against humanity. It's complicated, but that's what they're going to be tried with.
Now, I'm looking at the article and it says they've been accused of twice breaking into a cemetery.
I
don't know if it's breaking and entering.
Somebody ought to slap these goth kids. They're too weird.
I know. They're just trying to impress.
All right. That's it. And, who's even goth anymore? It's not like it's a new thing. It's like saying we're greasers. It's been around so long. Here is Harold. Harold, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Harold, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, statistic. There are more people alive today than there have ever been on the earth. And then there's more people alive now than have died. So that's why there's not that many graves.
All right, but let's say the time of the... that doesn't even... I realize that there's a lot of people here. But let's say between the Revolutionary War to, let's say, the end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
All right, and that's, 100 years?
Sure.
Close to 100 years?
Yeah, almost 100.
Revolutionary War, that's 200.
All right, there are 200 years. All right, how many people do you think lived in that time?
In the U.S.?
In the U.S.
I'm not sure, but it's probably, there's...
But it's got to be millions, right? We got to be talking 5, 6, 10 million, right?
Yeah, but, okay.
But how many graves are you going to find from that era? There's only got to be, very, very few.
And those people are out there somewhere.
And when you bring it up, you're like, hey, I saw a grave from the 1800s. You tell people about it. It's so rare.
Yeah.
But you think there would be 5 or 8 million of them if we cared one way or another.
Yeah, but a lot of them are on family plots out in the middle of nowhere, you know.
All right, there might be a couple dozen like that. I'm not going to say that you're wrong, that there's farmers. But let's say you take decent-sized cities. There are not that many graves that they have there.
For the amount of people that were in those cities at that time.
What happened to all them?
And it's not like it's the Old West either, where, someone gets shot, so they just put them under a pile of rocks out in the desert. These people actually had tombstones, they had caskets, they had crypts, they had coffins. All that stuff is somewhere.
Do you think suburban sprawls what got them and just rolled out over top of all those places?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Little churches all have 10 or 20, people buried in the churchyard somewhere.
That's true. Back then they were burying them right there at the church, on the lawn of the church. So if those churches are all gone, those graves are gone too.
But gone in what way? Did we dig them up and move them somewhere? They went, you know what, we're going to knock down the church, and let's just knock down this cemetery, and then we'll put up another building.
I would imagine that any sort of cemetery that probably eventually went out of business, maybe people moved out of the town or something, or a church got abandoned by its congregation, those are all gone. And I think it's not, and that just got paved over. No one even considered trying to relocate them to another cemetery.
But somebody had to make the decision.
Yeah.
So let's just go out with a sledgehammer and knock down all the headstones.
I mean, somebody somewhere bought property and was told, hey, there's an old 17th century graveyard there. And, someone's going to say, who cares about that?
Whatever, let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
All right, here is Cameron.
That's bad. You shouldn't do it.
What's up, buddies?
Hey, buddy.
Glad to have you in D.C.
It's great to be here.
Hey, I actually live right next door to a strip mall that has like a Golden Corral and an Arby's in it. And before we moved in, they actually told us that there was a graveyard there from the Civil War and that human remains were still underneath it. So, I mean, it does happen down here in the D.C. area.
Over the apartment?
No. Like, our complex is right next to a strip mall that was built on top of it.
So somebody had to go through there and build a strip mall over top of the cemetery.
Every time I go get a Jamocha shake now, I hear moans and chains rattling.
Now I'm starving.
That's all right.
Right now there's a beef and cheddar that someone's using as a tombstone.
Word up, guys. Glad to have you here.
All right.
Thanks, Ken.
Word to your mother. Here is Dave. Dave, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Dave. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, buddies. How's it going?
Good, bud. Hey, bud.
Glad to hear you guys in D.C. I listened to you about 8 or 9 years ago in South Florida.
Oh, great.
So it's good to hear a familiar voice in this area.
Okay, man.
Got a little story about gargoyles for you.
Mm-hmm.
They were originally protectors. So they were put on churches in the past. And they
now, you do see that in some of the older cities, that gargoyles will be on top of the churches, even Catholic churches.
Now, that confuses me because the church seems to be against demons, and yet they're putting gargoyles on their church.
Let me just say this. Are they really against them?
Oh, God.
I
knew it.
All right, Dave, how can they do it?
Well, they're not actually demons. They're protectors to keep the demons out.
Well, why not put angels up there instead of ugly, squatty gargoyles with fangs?
Oh, that's a good point.
A gargoyle's like an angel's dog.
Really?
I don't know.
Well, you saw Ghostbusters, right?
I had a friend who was.
You have it right there, the gatekeeper.
Right, but there's it's one thing to have them in on old buildings. I can understand some weird builder, but why would the Catholic Church have gargoyles? That's weird.
Well, my whole point was the gargoyles being on graves were to protect the graves from grave robbers.
It would scare them off.
Yeah, and protect them from evil.
Why? Why would it be scarier than any other stone?
You ever look at a gargoyle?
I can see if there's a real gargoyle, but not a statue of one.
I'm just going to put a rubber spider on mine. Or a rubber snake.
Well, you can have that spider tattoo that guy had on the back of his head.
Sure.
Have that on your gravestone.
You know what we ought to do is make those kids stand out there and chase other people away.
Those goth kids who are stealing bodies out of a cemetery for party favors.
I thought I was an F up to the kid. Nothing compared to that.
Oh, I know. As bad a things as we've done, we've never broken into a grave. Thank you. I can say it out loud.
Do you think that
We've done some.
Do you think that these kids will grow up and back then we used to be different. We used to dig up graves and dress him up. He's not a fader.
Yeah, I have no idea what these kids will grow up to do. If this is what they're doing in their 17-year-old years.
You got anything that you're ashamed of like that you've ever done before?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It's the Ryan and Rory show.
I had no idea.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were looking at me.
Well, maybe I'm looking at you, but we're on the radio.
I apologize.
I was looking to see what you were up to, but I was talking to Fez.
I apologize. Sorry.
But go ahead, tell your story.
All right, go
Rory.
ahead.
Now,
You go first now.
It's the Ron and Rory with Fez show. Sometimes.
Thank you. I'll just try to stay out of the way.
You weren't paying attention to the show, were you?
No, I was. It just seemed like you were looking at me saying, "Did you ever have anything like that?"
Hey, what's your story?
Well, we had like pellet guns, and our neighbor's dog was running around, and I took a shot right at his ass, and the dog just went down and just started like dragging his ass across the lawn and stuff. And
you break the back or just popped the ass?
I didn't pop the ass, but they ended up having to put the dog down. So.
Oh, you shot a neighbor's dog, you rotten kid.
I didn't think I'd get that good of a shot. And I still, to this day, am ashamed of that. Just completely, they never know what happened.
Right.
They didn't know it was the neighbor. They thought it was just a bunch of kids driving by in a car or something like that.
Yeah, a drive-by doggy shooting.
Can I tell you, this is very weird because I had totally forgotten about this until you brought it up. I'm probably in the 4th grade. Me and my friend were standing there in the kind of one of the neighbors' yards, and they had a dog that nobody in our neighborhood liked. And while we were standing there and the mother was there, we see my friend's older brother with a pellet gun bear down on that gun and shoots it. And it yells out, and I saw the kid, running away. And the woman was going, what happened? What happened? And we're going, we don't know, but we both knew.
Right.
But in 4th grade, we were already taught, fly your hands off.
Sure.
Don't give up nobody.
You're not telling an adult anything. Now,
and she shot just like Rory did, but unlike Rory, there was no death there. Did any other kids know that you did it?
Yeah, it was me and one of my friends, my best friend at the time, and we both swore we're never going to say anything ever again.
So you never got caught for shooting the neighbor's dog?
This kid's driving in the car right now, hearing this and screaming, no!
You said you were down!
You took a blood oath.
Well, luckily, I think the neighbors moved away, and, I don't think she can hear us right now.
Okay.
All right, good. You owe someone a German Shepherd.
It's awful when you carry that stuff around like that.
Yeah.
But, it's a pretty bad thing he did. He shot a dog and killed it. That must have made you feel terrible.
I was horrified. My parents were even thinking about getting a dog, and I couldn't even just face that.
It reminded you of dogs that you killed?
Yeah, it was so.
All dogs go to heaven, Rory. All dogs go to heaven. With you, just a lot faster.
Well, I think your story beats mine, that's for sure.
It definitely beats mine, because I'm trying to think of the most disgusting, horrible story like these kids stealing bodies I could think of. We had this girl in high school that we always called Miss Piggy. She looked just like the Muppet, Miss Piggy.
Oh, sounds cute.
One night we went to the butcher shop and got a pig split, an actual pig hoof, a whole freaking pig leg, and took that thing and threw it out on her front lawn so they would find it the next day, like in the driveway or whatever.
And
we wrote her name on it.
Did she say it?
Yeah, she saw it, and she got, she had no idea who would leave a pig leg, on her driveway with her name on it, and she got very upset about it. Her family thought it was some sort of threat that they just didn't understand. And this girl, Alice, said the only thing she could figure out is she told us they must think we're Jewish.
Here's the...
And we don't eat pork.
Let me ask you something. This Piggy, this girl, this fat girl from your high school.
Yes, Miss Piggy.
Is it you?
No, I am not Miss Piggy.
It's okay, just let it go. Is it you? Did this happen to you?
No, I did not throw a pig's leg on my own driveway. And it did not happen to me. I'm not Miss Piggy.
Was she a great big fat person?
She was, yes. And we called her Miss Piggy and threw a pig leg on her lawn.
I did some of that where you mean to other kids stuff that I think back now and go, what the hell was I so cruel for?
Yeah, it's just awful. We actually...
how would that even be funny? And then you do stuff like that.
There's this one kid we hated. We thought it would be funny. It's never funny. But
what kind of neighborhood were you weren't the outcast? There's somebody weirder.
I was cool. I was cool in high school.
Oh, yeah, you grew up on Earth, too.
There was this one kid where we didn't like him, and we put a note on his car.
Yeah.
That said, don't try to stop, or something like that. Don't use your brakes, or something like that. Acting like we had cut his brake cable.
Yeah.
And we left that note, some sort of warning on his windshield. I don't even know exactly what we said. And it's like they had the car towed and taken to a mechanic, and the brake cable.
Start getting scared then?
At that point, yeah, kind of started getting nervous. When I heard the after story, to us, it's a note on someone's windshield. Don't drive this car,
And it blew up in your face.
Right, and then you find out, all right, there's $200 mechanics bills because the car had to be checked from top to bottom to make sure it did have brakes.
I remember one time we went over to this girl's house that was babysitting, And it's because, we were sleeping out. Did you used to sleep out in your neighborhood?
Oh, yeah.
So we went out there. We went over to her house because, she had a little bit of a reputation. Now, we got to be 7th grade, and she was like a chunky girl who had huge breasts. You know how...
Oh, sure.
Suddenly the fat girl seems cute when those breasts come out like torpedoes. And just as we're over now, it must be late enough at night, like 12:30, 1 o'clock, and we were actually up, looking in the door to see if she was awake. And then we were going to knock. Her parents pulled up.
Oh.
And we brought something up crazy to her dad, well, we were just seeing when football was supposed to start, because he was always involved in the little football organization. He says, he says something to us, goes in the house, acts normal. In his mind, he thinks we were all 13, the daughter was 13,
yeah,
that the couple of us had gangbanged her, right?
Really? All right.
And blames it on her. While she's just in her house watching TV or something, he goes in there, takes off his belt, and beats the living hell out of her.
And she doesn't even know why. Didn't do a thing wrong, and has no clue what can even be on his mind. She's just got a maniac father taking a strap to what he thinks is her daughter.
Right.
Oh, my God, that's awful.
Is that an awful story?
All right, I ask you
just our young hormones doing it, but,
right.
We would have been almost what the hell would anybody be going,
Yeah.
I mean, what were we even thinking? But you're just... Now you at that beginning teen things, you're just almost crazy.
Yeah, you seriously might not know right from wrong at that point. At least going up to that door and peeking in the windows didn't seem bad enough to get someone a beating.
As bad as I want, an innocent person. The only innocent person will learn. All right, me and my friends were asswipes.
Right.
This guy, this man, obviously not believing his own daughter and checking things out. He's an asswipe, and yet the innocent person got whipped, not spanked with a belt.
Yeah.
One of those things where the dad is swinging the belt.
Tony Soprano beating.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll do those awful kind of childhood confessions. We'll check with the guys. If you got one of these terrible things you did when you were a kid, 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. You're listening to the Ron and Fez Show.
Howard Stern, Don and Mike, Bill O'Reilly, Ron and Fez and the Washington Redskins, 106.7 WJFK. Don and Mike, Bill O'Reilly, Ron and Fez and the Washington Redskins, 106.7 WJFK.
The Ron and Fez Show, 106.7 WJFK.
Talking about those stories, some of them bad, some of them kind of silly, that happened to us when we were younger.
You make bad decisions when you're a kid. You do things that really get out of hand quick. We were talking about the kids who actually went and broke into 3 graves in a cemetery just to take some skulls and a corpse back to a party with them.
Here's Mike. Mike, what would you like to get off your chest?
Hey, Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
When I was a kid, I accidentally choked my aunt's dog to death.
How did that happen?
I was doing some work in the basement, and this dog was really mean, so I put a rope around it. Well, the dog laid down and choked itself to death.
So what were you trying to do, tie the dog up?
Yeah, I tied the dog up with its leash, and the dog was so stupid it laid down and ended up choking itself to death.
Now, how quick before you realized you killed your aunt's dog?
It was about an hour and a half.
Oh, gosh.
She was at work, and I had to call her up and said that the dog had a heart attack.
She never found out the truth?
She never found out the truth.
You know what? The story just reminded me of something I did when I was really little.
Let me guess, sat on puppies?
No. I did not sit on puppies on purpose or accidentally.
Was she a great big fat person?
Not me. When I was little, I slapped a sleeper hold on our dog.
Killed it?
Put it out, and then panicked, and kept really shaking the thing really hard, and finally kind of shook it off and came back around.
Lucky.
Yeah, I know. I would have been dead.
You remember those graves that you were talking about?
Yeah.
You know, down in New Orleans, when they put you in the grave, let's say a year goes by and they have to put somebody in the same grave because they use crypts down there.
Right, because it's below sea level, so everybody's got to be buried above ground.
Yeah, well, they take this long pole and they shove the corpse to the back of the crypt where all the bones and everything fall down. And within a year, they're decomposed because of the heat.
All right, hold on. He says that the people in New Orleans share crypts, and they take the pole and shove you back and put the next person in.
Oh, that's sick. I can't believe that.
I do.
I'm not even believing it.
I do believe it. And I think anything.
You believe in ghosts? I do.
I think anything that happens when you die is just gross and terrible.
There's no dignified way, that's for sure.
Here is Christy. Christy, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, Christy.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
When I was 7, my neighbor was always over my house. He was the same age, and he really got on my nerves. And I hit him between his eyes with a golf club.
Dang, Skakel.
What kind of club was it?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was a sharp one, obviously. He was leaning over in my yard with blood pouring out of his forehead.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
I had to run in and get my mom, and I told her that we were, I don't remember how it happened, but I remember telling her that we were playing t-ball with it, and he was behind me, and she had to call the ambulance, then call his parents.
Was he able to even speak or communicate the fact that you're a horrible golfer?
I don't remember.
A liar?
Yeah.
Well, good story.
Thanks.
All right, Billy says he's got something he wants to get off his chest.
All right, let's bring in Big Billy Staples. Come on in, Bill.
Billy, what exactly happened? How old were you?
When this went down.
Oh, I was about 7 or 8, I guess, when I used to go to work with my dad.
And what happened?
Now, your dad was an undertaker, right?
Yeah, my dad was a funeral director and a mortician.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And, we'd go into his office, and behind the office used to be a room where they would embalm the bodies and lay out all the bodies and stuff. And when he wasn't busy, I used to go in there and, look at the bodies under the sheets and stuff. Because I was like a curious kid. I never got to see a naked person before. This is my first time seeing, naked
Everything
women.
about you was gross. So you saw a naked dead person.
Yeah, and I used to, poke them to see what they felt like and try to crack their knuckles and their toes. Do you have anything about pulling toes? I love to pull toes. And when you pull a toe, it cracks. And I used to try to pull the toe and it would crack. I didn't know whether it broke or whether I cracked it.
Oh my God! Now you were poking them in the poon or whatever?
No, just poking the sides of the skin to see what it felt like. If it felt like if it still felt like a live tissue and stuff.
You wanted to see them naked.
Oh yeah, that was the first reason I went in there.
So you were looking at their privates.
Yeah, especially the older naked women. There was never any younger women.
I know it's not like this is a funeral home for supermodels. You're looking at 90-year-old women in there.
Well, that is the grossest thing I've ever heard.
Well, when you're a kid, you're just curious.
Did you just see a spider crawl out of it?
Oh,
no.
Spiders.
I've heard stories where the muscles. My father would tell me how the muscles would relax and stuff, and the arm would lift up during the embalming and stuff.
And you're just in there snapping toe bones, just breaking dead people's toes.
You don't break the toe. You pull the toe and it pops. It's like cracking your toes.
I understand that, but you're talking about doing it so hard you could have broken it. You didn't know if they were just cracking a knuckle or not.
Most kids would have been afraid, and he's in there trying to break their toes and touch their poons.
And make out with them.
I never touched the poons. I was only looking because I didn't know what female private parts looked like.
Could you imagine how the family would have felt if they would have went in there and a 17-year-old boy was staring at their great-grandmother's old dead poon?
7-year-old boy.
Sure.
Well, my dad died when I was 11.
And you're looking at dead guys' puds, too?
When your dad died when you were 11?
Yeah.
How many of his toes did you pop? That beautiful.
I never touched my dad. No. And then I stopped doing it when I picked up the sheet and somebody had been autopsied and it had that big wide incision in there and it was barely.
You weren't afraid at all?
No, I kind of grew up with it,
Around dead bodies?
Yeah. You know, because my dad was always very busy. We didn't get to spend much time together, so I'd go to funerals with him and ride in the hearse.
That'll be your autobiography. 6 feet under, 3 sheets to the wind.
And your dad did not think that it was odd that you were curious about dead bodies and all?
Oh, he didn't know when I would go in there. You know, like
where would he think that you were?
Well, he would have to go upstairs where the actual funeral was. You know, like the viewing or whatever you want to call it. And the offices were downstairs. He'd like stay there. He used to have a typewriter. He used to play in the typewriter, and you know. And then when he would leave, I would just kind of go like exploring into the embalming room. Okay? I can still. The smell of that embalming fluid, like the formaldehyde, whatever it was.
Oh, that's like gravy to you.
Oh.
Didn't they used to use it for angel dust later? They always said
I
that.
thought so, yeah.
So you must have got a little high from it.
I didn't notice. I mean, that was just...
That's probably the start of your problem.
It was just, you know, it was like so scared, but so curious. It's like you get that nervous energy, like, you know, you shouldn't be doing this and you can get caught, but it's like so cool, like, wow, this is a real dead person, like poking it in the ribs. And actually, I tried to tickle one of them.
I cannot believe that you, at that age, were just so fearful.
All right, let me ask you this. I know you were obviously upset when your father died.
Yeah.
But the fact that you had seen dead people so often up until you were 11 years old.
Yeah.
So that probably didn't bother you as much seeing your father dead.
No, it actually didn't affect me till after the funeral.
Yeah.
And then that's when I remember on my way home after I got the flag and everything, I just totally broke down with my mother, you know. But during the whole funeral,
yeah, up until then you were brave little John Jr. saluting with a short suit.
Yeah, it was just like, you know, like, okay, you know, my dad lived with this his whole life and I've seen it, so it wasn't like a shock to see a dead person.
Even though it was your dad?
Yeah, well, I mean,
you didn't try to look at him naked, did you?
No.
I mean, some kids have a dad as a butcher, but they would be weirded out to see their dad all butchered up.
Yeah, well, I think it's a little different. My dad wasn't butchered, you know, he was still intact.
You see what I'm saying? You're saying you grew up around it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a different thing. A butcher wouldn't butcher his dad to bury him.
We don't know that.
But, you know, well, not in my case anyway, so.
Your thing was you would go around as a little kid and break the toes of dead people.
No, I didn't.
Snapping them.
No, I didn't. I didn't intentionally try to, like, break it, like, you know, like that or like that. You know, when you just pull them, it would make a big pop.
Right.
And you don't know whether it popped or actually just came out of the socket. Oh, you want to hear it?
So gross. Scott, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Scott, go ahead.
Hey, guys.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I was working retail audio video stereo equipment, and I sold a system to an elderly gentleman. He came in with his wife, wheelchair, had some oxygen tanks and things like that. He knew he wasn't in good health, and went up and installed it, and you know, he get friendly with customers and things like that. But he was lacking one piece of equipment. So about a week went by, and I called him and said, "Hey, it's in. You know, come and install it before the store opens." And then she said, "Oh yeah, come on over." Tomorrow morning I went over. You know, there was cars in the driveway, but it looked normal to me. And when I got to the door, you know, she says, "Well, you know, Mr. So-and-so, you know, he passed last night." I said, "Oh, geez, I'm really sorry, you know." And she says, "Well, you know how he loved his music, and you know, and I was putting together a home theater system for him." And she says, he would really love it. I would really appreciate if you came in, installed it, and played some stuff for us." So when I went in,
wait a minute, the husband was dead?
He was in on the gurney bed thing, you know, because he was bedridden for a little bit.
And they still wanted that home theater.
Yep. So I went in, hooked it up. Took me, 5 or 7 minutes. And there's people around, a minister or priest or whatever they had that was there, friends and relatives. And I hooked this thing up and put in a DVD, and we turned it on and cranked it up. And, you know, everybody was like, "Oh, that's so good." And he would have loved it. And then we put some music on. It was the weirdest damn thing ever, you know. But later on, like, I was applying for another job a couple years later, and the guy says, "What's your best sales story?" I said, "Well, I sold some stereo equipment to a dead guy."
All right, thanks. I don't think you got the point.
No, that had nothing to do whatsoever with what we were talking about.
Right.
Those childhood confessions where you did something horrible, something awful as a kid, and you want to get it off your chest now.
I didn't really honestly think I was confessing. I was just telling you.
Yours is awful.
Hi, who's this? You're on the Ron and Fez show.
It's the DC boy.
Hey, DC boy.
The big ass called a 2928. You know, I was about 9 years old. My neighbor had a son about my age. So me and my parents, we went, and my neighbor's parents, we went to a baseball game, but it wasn't that big. It was like a TV baseball game. So after the game was over, me and the little boy went out on the field. So we started to play a little game of baseball.
What happened?
You don't want to know what I'm going to tell you.
You're right.
I really don't want to know.
866-277-4969.
Wonder Boy tells me he's got a story, but I want to go to Chris first. Chris, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Chris, go ahead. Chris.
We lost you, Chris? Wonder Boy, what is your story?
Come on in, Wonder Boy. What's your story?
We used to play, we would play street hockey with my neighbor next door when I was a kid. Probably like I was around 11. And after one game, I had lost in the game, and I felt like he had cheated, and I was really telling him off when the game was over. So we had kind of a fight. I went home, and I saw that there was rotten milk in the back of my fridge. So I called him up, and I said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been yelling at you. It was kind of wrong. I'm like, why don't you come over? We'll have a snack. We had a good time and stuff. Come over, and I'll apologize. So when he came over, I had all kinds of cookies and brownies and stuff out, and all the milk's waiting. And I had some fresh milk for myself, and I had a glass of rotten milk just sitting there. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I was fighting with it. And he came over. He had some of the cookies. He drank the rotten milk. He started trying to hold it in his mouth. He ran over to the can, spit it all out. And then we didn't talk for a long time after that.
You know that you did it on purpose?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was, I think, 12. I was really pissed.
All right, you poisoned someone, and look at you. You're still laughing about it.
Well, I mean, the look on his face, he really, it wasn't like the milk was really soupy, but it was definitely rotten.
Oh, cool.
And he had no idea it was coming. I was like, hey, I'm sorry about that. I really, I really played it up.
How sick is your house that you got that rotten milk sitting around?
Where was your mother, Latchkey?
No, what it was is I think
that rotten milk came out of her breast.
No, we had milk for coffee. It was just like some kind of milk that had been shoved to the back. We had some kind of family affair before that, and that milk kind of got pushed to the back.
Oh, that's disgusting.
But that's how it is in their family.
Joe, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Joe, go ahead.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Okay, buddy.
I guess it's a murder confession, although it's not a human being, so it really doesn't count.
Okay.
My buddy had a cat, and his cat was attacked by his neighbor's cat, and hurt pretty bad. So we decided to, we'd take matters into our own hands and put out a little can of cat food. When the cat came riding along, he popped it in the head with a .22 pellet gun. But it didn't die right away. Blood started spurting out of his head like a fountain. It started running around in circles screaming.
Oh, God.
So then it became like a situation. We didn't know what to do. We wanted it just to go away, but it wouldn't. It was just running around in circles screaming. So we waited for a while. Yeah, it got uncomfortable. And then it ran off back into its own yard. So we kind of just, just went back into the shadows and hoped for the best.
Oh, my God, that's disgusting.
It made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess it would.
Did it make you feel better to talk about it?
I don't know. Actually, probably not. I shouldn't have relived it.
See, the people that did these things, most of them are still laughing about it.
Isn't that odd?
They don't realize, you know what, we did a horrible thing as kids. Kids do bad stuff. You get into more trouble than you like to. Now everyone still thinks it's a big chuckle.
All right, this is Charlie.
This is Charlie.
This is Charlie.
This is Charlie.
Hey, this is Charlie.
Hey, this is Charlie.
How's it going, guys?
Good, man.
What you got, Charlie?
For one, what you're talking about earlier about the graves and stuff.
Yeah.
When a big construction company bought an area to build on, if they came across an old grave site, they'd have to fence it off and couldn't touch it. You couldn't build over it, couldn't do nothing with it.
Right.
Had to leave it there.
But what's happened since then?
Right, it just stays there. I mean,
I don't
you can't
know.
do nothing to it. I want to let you know that, and when I was younger, we used to have rock fights where we throw rocks at each other.
We used to do that in my neighborhood, too. Did you do that fast where everybody would just kind of just get rocks and chuck them like one block against another?
We actually used horse pies.
Oh.
Anyways, I threw a rock and hit the kid in the head, busted his head wide open.
That's the way it always ends.
Yeah.
Everybody takes off after that.
Right.
All right, see you later.
I have no idea what that had to do with the dead people.
Chris, you're on the air.
Hey, Chris, go ahead.
I'm still embarrassed about this one.
Okay, buddy.
What you got, pal?
When I was 19 years old, my fiance thought she was pregnant. My mom found out. So I got ticked off that she found out, and I was really upset that she had no idea that my older brother was banging his fiance. So I went into his dresser and got all his condoms out and poked pinholes in all his condoms.
And got
Isn't that bad?
Yeah, it's, the stuff we're talking about is childhood.
Right.
Here's a very strange person, first of all, 19, still being yelled at by their mom.
And doing things to their older brother at that point. 866-277-4969.
With the Ron and Fez Show.
Running like O'Reilly, running Fez and the Washington Redskins. 106.7 WJFK.
Free phone number 866-277-4969.
That's right, we are live tonight, unlike last night and Monday.
Finally set up in a studio, and we are live in Washington, D.C.
Here is John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, John, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, this wasn't me, but my little sister, and I don't know exactly why, but we had one of those big 50-gallon trash can deals in our backyard, right?
Right.
And she, it was half full of water, and she took our Chihuahua or something like that, some really small dog, and put it in there to let it swim, and forgot about it. So it, I guess it must have swam around in there for like an hour or something and died.
All right, now why would this be on your conscience after all these years?
But it wasn't on my conscience.
No, but you just still, even at this age, you're still calling and squealing on your sister.
It's a tattletale, Ronnie.
Come on. Think about it. I mean, because that dog must have been staying in there for freaking, like an hour.
I know. How long do you think the Chihuahua lasted swimming, doing the doggy paddle, literally?
Yeah.
Before it finally got too tired to even... And was it floating on top, or was it down the bottom of the drum?
Yeah, it was floating.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. We just told her that it ran away, but I just thought it was pretty funny.
You told her, the killer itself, that it ran away.
What?
You told the killer it ran away, or who'd you tell?
My sister, the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we told her it ran away.
All right.
You gotta tell her she drowned it.
All right, so then how's she going to learn? She's going to start dropping babies off in the pool and walking away.
I'd march her out there in the backyard, take her face, and put it right in that barrel, with the Chihuahua still in it.
Some of the stuff you got to get off the conscience, Fezzy. You got to be able to express it.
Yeah, whether it's bobbing for Chihuahuas or like Billy Staples, who, of course, like to peek at dead people in his dad's funeral home and break their toe bones.
Here is Lee. Lee, you're on the Ron and Fez Show.
Hey, Lee, go ahead.
Hey. Yeah, once I was like around, 13 or 14.
Right.
A buddy of mine was dropping rocks on a homeless person from the fifth floor. And what happened was my buddy kept on missing, and he finally threw a rock, and it hit his mark right in the guy's crotch.
And you would always, where would you get the rocks from that you were chucking on the homeless?
Oh, they were on top of the garage.
Now, it doesn't seem like you're all broke up remembering this. It seems like you still find it kind of fun.
Well, it was at the time, but now I regret it.
Yeah, it seems like you do it tomorrow if given the Roxanne the opportunity.
Tomorrow, because, someone could drop a rock on me, hit me in the nuts.
Why, you homeless?
No.
No, that only happens to the homeless people, right? Now you know why homeless people hit people in the head with bricks.
Right.
They're only fighting back.
Definitely, learn a lesson.
Thanks a lot, Lee. Talk to you later. All right, the Hawk came in. He wants to share a story. What do you got for us, Hawk?
Hey, Hawk.
Hey, one Friday night, me and my friends were hanging out, and we were really...
Were they Arabs?
No, they were American.
Oh.
And
they liked you anyway.
Amazingly.
It was before the problems.
And so we all had a contest to see how many cars we could key.
All right, now when you key a car, that's when you take a car key and run it down the side?
You're scraping it down the side, scratching the car, right?
Yep. And we had a thing is it could be no longer than 6 inches, and we had a set amount of time, 5 minutes, and who could get the most amount of cars.
Now, why would you even want to do this? Why would...
Well, we were just stupid kids, teenagers, and we just had nothing to do one Friday night.
Now, why only 6 inches?
Well, the thing is, we had a set amount of time where we could do it in. So, if one kid would spend all the time just scraping on one car.
So it's not like you didn't want to ruin a car. It's just like you wanted to hit as many as you could.
Yeah, we're going for quantity, not quality.
Right. Any kid could just take a key and run it down the side of a parking lot.
All right, so how many did you key?
I got 20 personally.
Oh, my gosh, you little brat.
And how many kids were playing?
We had about 4 kids, and we got about 80 cars. No, wait, I had 25, and they all had like 20. So
bragging.
So you were the leader of the pack.
Yeah, we even made the local paper.
No way.
It was in the paper. This vandalism was in the paper?
Oh, yeah, because it did. We got 85 cars. That's like hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage.
Now, how did you feel when you saw it in the paper?
Oh, we thought we were going to get creamed. We thought our parents, if they found out, would just ultimately kill us.
Were you worried one of the kids would crack?
Yeah.
Exactly. Because here's the thing, when you get that many kids involved, 4, someone's a squealer in there, Ronnie.
And then Hawk had to start killing kids one at a time.
Well, the thing
with
is,
6-inch stab wounds.
2 of them were brothers, so we knew they wouldn't squeal on each other. But me and another kid were the ones that were worried that I thought he was going to squeal and he thought I was going to squeal.
Boy, that's when a gang starts to fall apart, when you start turning on each other.
So nobody squealed?
No, we all remained silent.
Until now.
Yeah, until now.
All right. There's an officer here to speak to you, Hawk.
Now that you said it, do you feel better, Hawk?
Actually, I feel even worse than before.
You know what? I got to tell you the truth. I like you a lot less than I ever did before. I think now that you're a scumbag. I used to think you were a great guy.
I'm adding up all the damages in my head and the amount of money. It's thousands and thousands of dollars.
How would you like to repay the universe, Hawk, and get this off? How about taking thousands of dollars and giving it to something, some charity?
Some homeless cars.
I don't feel that bad.
No.
I'll just probably stay up all night.
Now that he tells us this story, and I never heard the Hawk. I've never heard of him doing anything wrong his entire life.
He's a scumbag.
He is. He really is. And now I think of all the times, like I go in the studio and my headphones are broken
or scratched.
Yeah, 6-inch scratches on my headphones.
Sometimes I go home and my back is scratched.
Really?
Which I love. Marta, you're on the air.
Hi. When I was a little kid, our family cat had a litter of kittens, and she rolled over on one of them and killed it. And I buried it. And a couple months later, I dug it back up to look at it, and I still feel bad.
You saw like a little cat skeleton, or what was it?
Well, it wasn't quite a skeleton yet. It was like it had a cocoon over its mouth.
Oh, that's so awful.
Ew, you're so sick. Now, did the cat roll over it, or did you roll over it?
No. The mama cat.
Mm-hmm. How old were you when you did this?
I was probably about 8.
Yeah.
Man, you sat on a cat, didn't you? You blamed it on the mother.
Well, no, but I was just curious to see what it would look like.
And one more thing. Was this fat girl Miss Piggy you, Fez?
No, I was not Miss Piggy.
All right, I thought for sure it was you.
I was not called Miss Piggy in high school.
Here's Rob. Rob, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, I was wondering if you and Fezzy there could collectively kick the crap out of Hawk for me.
Doesn't it drive you nuts?
I mean, that is one of the worst things. I've had damage done to my car, and if I could catch the guy who did it, he wouldn't be around to tell about it.
Remember when in Pulp Fiction where John Travolta was talking about having his car keyed, and they were saying that should just be automatic execution if somebody keys your car?
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like an invasion of privacy, and not to mention the cost that it consumes.
Right, and it's a bunch of kids, Hawk and his buddies, who, never had to pay for a car at that point. Never had to shell out their hard-earned money.
And the whole point was they were bored.
Yeah, they had nothing to do on a Friday night because none of them had the balls to talk to a girl. Hawk, people hate you now. You used to be likable, Hawk. Now people hate you.
Well, you have to understand, you're at those awkward years, and you just you don't have a car, you can't go anywhere. You can't really get into R-rated movies. At that point, I was only like 15, and I looked it, so I couldn't sneak in. There was nothing to do on a Friday night. You could hang out at a park or something, but...
So you destroy other people's property.
Over 80 cars get keyed in one night.
Yeah, looking back, it's bad, but at the time, you're just a bored kid looking to spend some time, waste some time.
Were you, putting your initials in them and stuff?
Nope, I was just doing a 6-inch gash and then keep going.
Ew.
I'd love to do that right about now. Oh, my God, he's so embarrassed.
I know, he feels like we've taken him into the interrogation room.
Oh. Here is Steve, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, Steve, go ahead.
I guess I was about 10 years old, 9 or 10. We had a bunch of kids we hung out with down in Florida, and they were all military brats. And then there was a couple of guys in the neighborhood that weren't military, and they were like 2 years older than us, and they were always bullying us around and stuff. We were playing in the backyard one day, and this one guy had this rock in his hand for a while, and then he dropped it or whatever. But all of a sudden, this rock, the same rock about grapefruit size, came over and hit this guy right in the head.
Oh.
Right on top of his head, kind of like when he fell down to the ground.
Now, do you know who threw it?
Rock. What's that?
Do you know which kid threw it?
Well, I didn't actually see him throw it, but I knew he was like the last person that had this rock, you know, it's
Okay.
pretty big. But he was like looking at us like, you know, if you tell, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, this kid goes to the hospital and ends up passing away like 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Died.
Later.
No
Died.
way.
So we were, number one, we're interrogated like crazy because, you know, military and all that stuff and, you know, parents and police and stuff like that because it got really ugly. And no one, I mean, the kid kind of basically said, you know, you'd say anything, your history.
Because this was an older kid?
Yeah, this other guy and him were like 2 years older than us, and you know they would hang around, but they hung around to bully us all the time. So we tried to play somewhere where we didn't fall.
How old were you?
9.
All right, so you saw him kill your friend.
No, I didn't see him, but
Right.
he had the rock in his hand like last. So
Right.
anyway, so after years go by and I move away. My friend still lives in Florida, so a few years ago I went down and played golf, and we were playing golf, and he's like, "Hey, do you remember what happened with so and so? You know, we were little and all that stuff." And I said, "Yeah, wasn't that bad?" You know, so I always thought that so and so threw that rock, but because I never saw it, but you know how mean he was to us. You know, I always thought that he did it. He goes, "Well," so my friend said, "I saw it. I saw him do it." But I was too afraid because you know how he always did stuff to us. I mean, this guy would he would get an air gun or something like that for a birthday or something like that, and he would take the pellets off of the mat, like his rubber mat, welcome mat,
Right.
put them in there and shoot us. I mean, he'd come up. And
Yeah,
say, "Hey,
he was just a mean kid.
Right, don't move. This is going to hurt fast, you know. Well,
he's already killed once.
Well, I know. Well, so we're playing golf. He goes, "You'll never believe what happened to him." And I said, "What?" He goes, "The guy was driving. Someone threw a rock off of a bridge, hit windshield, and killed him instantly." I'm like,
no way.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
All right, Rory's rolling his head like this was a Twilight Zone, was it, Rory?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's Twilight Zone. I'm just saying that's just way too coincidental. It's just amazing.
Yeah, believing him.
I was floored, and I thought, why didn't I was asking him why didn't he say anything when he was little? He goes, well, I was always too afraid to say anything. That's what he said. He was too afraid to say it. I always thought in the back of my head that he did it, even though I didn't see it.
Yeah, but you never even brought it up to the cops yourself, like, hey, he was the last one to rock, right?
No, later when we were older, the reason why him especially was so mean and nasty was, his father used to do mean stuff or verbal or slapping him around, stuff like that, and then he would just come out in the neighborhood when he got all, we got kicked out of the house or something like that when his father was beat up on him, and come down and take it out on us.
Wow.
So that's why we were always hiding and trying to be away from him and not hang out with him, things like that, But to hear that, I was like, some part of you says, I'm relieved or he got his just desserts and things like that.
Well, you also
got a rock in his own head.
Yeah, but you also have to remember he was just a little kid who threw a rock. He didn't set out to kill somebody.
Well,
we all threw rocks.
He was 12 and we were 9.
Right, but you know what? Now that you're an adult, you have to remember that he was 12.
I mean, you throw a shot put-sized rock. What are the chances that it is going to hit someone? That little kid didn't have that aim.
Well, I really don't think he did it purposely, but because he was so mean, and then he gives that.
Oh, there are mean kids out there.
Right. No, I know.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate it.
I see. Joe, I'll tell you what. If that ain't a Twilight Zone, make a good one. He kills a kid with a rock. A year later, he's driving down the road. A rock falls out of the sky, basically off a bridge, through his windshield. Yet no one sees it drop from the bridge. Did it come from the sky?
Yeah. Where did that rock come from? Came from his own karma.
No, Fez. It came from the Twilight Zone.
Ah!
Wait, first of all, no one screamed after the Twilight Zone thing. It just stopped.
I always did.
Well, we all couldn't hear you at home.
Oh.
You know what was always scared me about Twilight Zone? Remember how the camera shot would go up into the sky?
Yeah, kind of like into the stars.
And then Jackie Gleason, the Honeymooners, uses the same kind of shot. And I was always kind of scared of the Honeymooners.
Was there a fat face in the moon? That's how you could tell the two shows apart.
I was always afraid, and the Honeymooners was a real scary-looking apartment.
That Honeymooner, you're right, because it's like they lived in absolute squalor. They were in a tenement.
They were in Brooklyn? Is that where they're supposed to be?
Yeah, they're supposed to be in Brooklyn. Yeah. And I mean, but that apartment had nothing. And then they would always do a shot of Norton's apartment. It'd be much nicer. They had much nicer things than Norton's.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But I never liked the fact that it looked like, what do they do? Just sit at that little ugly kitchen table for resting?
The honeymooners apartment to me always looked so damn hot because that window was always open, and it looked always so hot, and I always got nervous because it didn't seem like they had food. And what were they going to cook? They had that tiny ice box that there was never anything in.
Right.
The stove, there was always some little shanty pot on there that you would, make hobo stew in or something. And then the sink was right there. It didn't look like they had a thing to live on.
What scared me about the honeymooners, adults yelling at each other. That was always the scariest thing.
Oh, yeah, they're screaming at each other on that show.
And I used to go, why am I watching this? I should just be looking at my own family. But I had grandparents that used to swing at each other and stuff, and an aunt and uncle that would go at it pretty hard. And then I'm watching this show, and I'm like, oh, my God. When he says he's going to put it in the moon, he's going to punch him.
Oh, he'll do it. You always had the feeling he would do it.
It's Cosmo's Moon. You're on Letterfest.
Hey, Cosmo.
Hey, buddy. Big Ass Car 21107.
Hooah, hooah, hooah.
That's your hooah.
Thanks. Yeah, well, when I first started off, when I was a kid, me and my sister were just sick. I mean, we'd take dead roadkill squirrels and tie them to trees and swing baseball bats at them and stuff.
Why do you think you were like that?
No clue.
Yeah.
Just being kids.
But you and your sister, I know, but not all of us did that. But you and your sister were pretty mean, huh?
Yeah, very mean.
Okay.
Alright, well, we live around woods and stuff, so occasionally we had a turtle run by the backyard and stuff. And my sister really liked it and stuff. And
Younger sister?
Older, actually.
How old were you kids at the time?
I guess 7 and 9.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, anyways, and so out of just plain meanness, me and my friend find the turtle one day, take at it with hammers, bust the shell all up, the turtle's bleeding. We pick off the shell pieces piece by piece, throw it against trees, wipe the blood on the fence, just for no reason at all.
There was always some sick kid that wanted to get a turtle out of his shell.
Well, ever notice this too? They always say that people that torture animals later become serial killers.
Yeah, like that Dahmer, with skin dogs and stuff.
Yeah. When I was little, I saw some kids, the older kids, they used to be teenagers. Always scared the hell out of me when I was little. And they took, we had these frogs, and they came running in the middle of us and took baseball bats, and were just smashing the frogs. And that's like my Silence of the Lambs. And I must have been really little. I was like 4 or 5. Completely weirded out.
Have the frogs quit croaking, Ronald?
All this stuff brings it back when I hear a maniac like this.
God, it's awful.
All right, thanks a lot, man.
All right.
Here's Joe. Joe, you're on the fence.
Hey, Joe.
I lost you, buddy.
No, Joe.
Ow. Here is Chris. Chris, you're on the air.
Hey, Chris.
Ronnie?
Yeah, buddy.
Bezzy?
Buddy.
Buddy.
Buddy buds. You're our buddy. Your buddy bud.
Listen, I thought what I was going to tell you was bad until I heard the last dude who called.
Yeah, that's always sick stuff.
You got it. Okay, that was disturbing.
He's got just as mean a sister.
This is about me and my younger sister. I was about 10 years old. I was living in Europe at the time with my family. We came back to the States, staying up in New York with an aunt. I had jet lag. It was very late. My sister and I had to share a room.
How old were you guys?
What's that?
How old were you and your sister?
I was 10. She's 4 years younger than me, so she was 6.
Okay.
All right, so we each had to use a separate bed. Middle of the night, I wake up and I wet the bed. All right, I was tired. I had jet lag. I know I was an old kid at the time, whatever, but I had an accident.
You had an accident. Sure.
There's no way I'm going to tell Aunt Lucy. All right? I can't do it. So I get up. I pick my sister up, put her on the floor. I take her mattress, put it on my box spring, take my mattress and put it on her box spring.
First of all, you're brilliant.
And I took my sheets, put them on her bed, took her sheets, put them on my bed. I got changed, took my pajamas and threw them outside in a bush. It was like 2 houses down. I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning. My mother's in the room. My father's in the room. Gina, what happened? What? You had an accident? You wet the bed? She couldn't figure out how her pajamas were dry and the mattress and the sheets were soaked.
In the way out of it.
I have been surfing with that story ever since I was that age, and no one in the family knows until now if they're listening.
You know what? You ought to tell them. Because now they would probably laugh and it would be all cute.
Yeah, I think it might be pretty funny. I'm thinking, over some eggnog next
You don't probably laugh so hard you wet yourself.
Hey, look, I got a story for you, Alf.
Exactly.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, man. Take care. Peace.
Hey, Fuzzy, we got to take a break, but when we come back, Fez has a story about us. It's the Piano Man and the Uptown Girl. I was trying to do one of those E-magazine things, you know how they're always doing that?
Sure. So we'll have some details on that coming up.
Billy Joel and ex-wife Christy Brinkley. It's a pretty good story here. You listen to the Ron and Fez Show.
Washington's 106.5 O'Reilly. Ron and Fez Redskins. 106.7 WJFK.
It's the Ron and Fez Show. Ronnie, you know Billy Joel, of course.
Yes, I do, Fez. He's a wonderful piano man.
In a car accident. Ran his car into a tree a few days back. They actually had to helicopter him to a hospital. He had some facial injuries. The word was maybe a broken nose. So a couple days later, the smashed up car that they haul away from the tree, it's sitting there at the auto body place. There's Christy Brinkley, the former Mrs. Joel, and she's snapping pictures of this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone assumes, oh, isn't that nice of Christy Brinkley? She's helping with the insurance.
Like he needs insurance.
Or Christy Brinkley needs to put these things together. They don't have people. So, turns out, it wasn't for insurance, Ronnie. Christy Brinkley is snapping pictures of this banged-up Billy Joel car because she's going to use that as evidence against him. She doesn't want their daughter, Alexa Ray, to ride in the car with Billy Joel anymore.
Why? She got one accident?
She says she is concerned about her child's safety because of Billy Joel's, she puts it this way, frightening pattern of accidents. Apparently, Billy Joel had just dropped off the kid like a couple hours before, and with the way the car hit the tree, it was the passenger side that was all smashed in.
Alexis Ray! Alexis Ray! Oh, well, come on, baby. You know, the weird thing is, maybe he didn't start drinking until after he dropped his daughter off.
Maybe that's the thing. They didn't even do a breathalyzer test on him. They said there was no reason to suspect drunk driving other than the fact that Billy Joel's in the car and it's wrapped around a tree.
All right, let me see the picture. You have the picture of the daughter? I thought I saw one of the papers was a picture of the daughter. Because how old is she now?
She is, she's getting up there. I mean she's a teenager, right?
She seems like she's old enough to say, Dad, I'm not getting in the car with you.
Yeah.
She doesn't need her mom taking pictures of a car and then later saying, I don't want my daughter with him.
Yeah, now, Christy Brinkley, she's 48. Billy Joel's 53. I don't see how old the daughter is. But they had that daughter a while ago.
Yeah. The daughter's definitely in her late teens, I would say.
Right.
So say, no, I'm not getting in the car with you, maniac man.
I used to be piano man. Now I'm maniac man.
You even rode your motorcycle in the rain, man.
So now she doesn't want her daughter, Alexa, getting in the car with Billy Joel. She ought to be more concerned that that kid got Billy Joel's looks instead of hers.
Billy Joel, what's a four-letter word for ex-wife? Oh, I don't know, Fezzy. Look at Billy Joel's daughter's pretty cute. You ever see them out on Long Island, Rory?
I saw Billy once, and I saw Christy also once.
How does she look in real life?
She looks very good.
She's now married to that Peter Cook guy, the architect.
Yeah, I was at their house, actually. And
the daughter is 17. Stay out of the car if Dad's drinking.
You know what? It's not like they're putting her in a car seat.
Exactly.
I hope not.
And Fezzy, I definitely disagree and say that this is a really cute girl.
Let me see the picture again.
You've probably been seeing her since her awkward age.
Yeah, she has her dad's Basset Hound eyes. That's adorable on a person.
Let me see. Rory, what do you think? You're more of the Grace of this Will and Grace, aren't you?
Yeah, I think she's very cute. I think she's got a very nice, pretty face, and what it looks like here, a nice body too.
Now look at her daughter.
She's got a young look to her, which
because she's a young person.
Right.
Let's say she's cute, not affable.
The way her eyes are bugging out, it looks like that's the picture right after the accident.
Look at Billy, though. It looks like he's combing his hair with a dish towel anymore.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing
Wow.
left there.
He looks like a burn victim.
Yeah, he checked him in. He did an Oakland Raiders center thing last year, where he went to the psychiatric center in Connecticut and the Silver Hill Substance Abuse Center.
All right, so he's rehab, but you're saying you don't think it's stuck.
No. Not if he's just running the car into a tree. The only reason he didn't get more hurt is because he's all liquored up and he rolled with the punches. Those drunk guys always do that. They can run their cars into a brick wall and just go with it.
Billy Joel, you're worth a fortune. Why not have somebody drive your fat ass around? You don't have to be driving. You should be living in the back seat like Arthur. Dun, 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 dun. And you're just hammering drinks back there, and nobody can say a word to you.
Billy Joel doesn't seem like he has one single person in his life. Not even a secretary. Anything.
I would hang with Billy Joel. I'd play a rad to his Elvis.
Remember when he said he was going to move to Manhattan to try to find love?
Yeah, that never even happened, did it?
No, of course not.
How hard would it be to find a chick if you were Billy Joel?
Apparently, it's pretty tough.
He starts playing the piano, and I bet they're on top of him like skaters.
I have the feeling that Billy Joel still isn't over Christy Brinkley, and he's doing this stuff to get Christy's help. You know what I mean? To keep Christy in his life.
Why? Why do you care? You could get somebody that looks like Christy Brinkley back when she was hot. What are you doing caring anymore?
Billy Joel is a mess. The last tour with Elton John, he had to cut that short because he was sick. Sick on liquor.
Poor Bill.
So now the ex-wife is coming after him, saying, hey, you shouldn't even be with our daughter in a car.
You know what I say? Isn't the country big enough that you don't have to live in my neighborhood? You're a big famous model. Go anywhere else but here.
They're all just out in the Hamptons together, at every single party together. It's like Christy Brinkley has two husbands.
And in the winter, there's how many people out there? 800?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like everybody lives in the same building.
God, the new husband, architect Peter Cook. He's got to be sick of just Joel hanging around constantly.
I thought Peter Cook was Dudley Moore's old partner. I thought that's who she was married to.
I think that is Peter Cook, but I think it's a different Peter Cook.
Here is Gary. Gary, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Gary. Great to hear you guys live again.
It's great to be here. You know, we missed 2 days. We're embarrassed about it, but we're back.
And it's okay as long as we got you live. Everyone in New York still loves you. We're getting the feed up to them.
Yeah.
On the message board, we're sending recaps of the show.
Hey, do me a favor. A lot of people are...
how does it end?
You don't have a syndication underground going?
No. That's illegal for them, you know? No, we are sending recaps through the message board.
Well, I got a lot of people asking me, so somebody send me one at Ron and Fez at AOL.
Okay.
As soon as you get an underground up.
Definitely. What is it called? You sure there was Billy Joel you guys want to ride him with, or Billy Staples?
Billy barely has a car. Billy told
Either one's driving their car powered by alcohol.
All right, bring Billy Staples in here. Thanks a lot.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
We're definitely we're keeping recaps for everyone in New York. Keep them updated.
Where are you at right now,
I'm
Gary?
in D.C., man. I was the one that came down to see you guys in the studio.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you pretty soon. All right, send out love, all right?
I will, definitely, man.
All right,
Keep
see you
going.
later.
Thanks, pal.
It's, all right, Billy Staples, you got a new chip, right?
Yeah.
Your 12-step program?
30-day chip, proud of it.
How many times do you think you quit drinking altogether?
Oh, countless, hundreds.
Yeah. Hundreds?
Yeah.
How many times did you restart the program?
Hundreds.
Really? Has it been that many times that you quit?
Yeah, I would definitely say, because the hardest thing is once you relapse, when you don't have a lot of time left, if under your skin, if you've only got 2 or 3 days, you're like, oh, what the hell?
I don't know what you mean by not a lot of time left.
On Earth?
No, a lot of time in the program, being sober. It's like, oh, I'm not going to drink anymore. And then 2 days later, you want to drink? I was like, well, I'm not really giving up too much. I've only been 2 days clean. It's not like 2 years. So it's a lot easier to relapse when you don't have a lot of sobriety.
I'm sure it always feels like, hey, I could start that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, it's like a diet.
All right, when you look at Billy Joel, he got out of rehab now. You think he's drinking again with wrecking his car?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I have no question in my mind when I saw that and being all alone on a. I mean, I've done that.
I've done what?
Gotten away with a couple of things in my lifetime.
Just what, you're by yourself and you hit a tree?
Yeah, hit a telephone pole in Sun State Parkway. Just me and my Pinto.
Good thing you didn't back into it. Put a fireball.
Yeah.
Billy Joel's daughter, cute or homely, Fez says?
I don't know. She's definitely got a little Natalie Portman look happening there.
Yeah, I thought so too.
No, definitely cute. Definitely.
No, Billy, you were drunk with your daughter in the car once. You said that was one of your low points.
Yeah, that was definitely a low point in my life. We were taking her to a movie, and I was like coked up, and I was like, when you're coming down from the coke high, and it's the worst. And so I was like pounding a couple of beers to ease the the way that feels. It's horrible.
Now, how old was she at the time?
Oh, 5 or 6.
Did she know you were wired, or she didn't?
No, she just knew I was drinking.
She couldn't tell at all, huh?
No, she wouldn't. She didn't know about. She's only 5 or 6. She wouldn't know about
the ring around your nose.
Yeah.
Now, did she tell on you? Did you tell your ex-wife?
Yeah, and to this day she still remembers it.
You were all over the road.
No, just that.
Yeah, how did she realize it? You didn't get pulled over, did you?
No, Billy made this announcement.
My name's Billy, and I am an alcoholic.
Right. Well, I'm 5, Dad, and I know the deal.
It was like you.
Take you in for rehab show and tell.
I've done some. That was probably one of the most stupidest things I've ever done while drinking. Endangering the life of a child.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
It's horrible, but you know what? It's just like you don't even at the time. You're like, oh man, I'm hurting so much. I need a couple of buds just to get to the movie theater.
But wouldn't it have didn't you think of maybe I need to get rid of the kid, then I can self-medicate?
Well, I used to always try to switch weekends.
So you really didn't even want the kid that much at the time?
No. It was always like, I had her every other weekend, but like when they say, hey, we're doing this weekend, we're doing that, or I got an 8-ball or something, it would be like, I'd call up my ex-wife, I was like, oh, something came up at work, and I switch weekends with you.
So like how many weekends did you miss together at one time?
70.
Really? 70 weekends?
70
over
straight.
a year?
70 straight.
It was
over a year of weekends.
1st to 3rd grade.
Really? 3rd grade, 2 years.
Yeah, there was a while there, and plus my ex and I were fighting.
Right.
And unfortunately, when you go through a divorce, the kid is always the pawn.
Oh, that's nice. Not even a rook or a knight, a pawn.
Yeah. It's
like Alexa Ray.
It's a bargaining chip.
It's more like Martha Ray.
Come on, she's so cute.
Come on.
I hope
Not your daughter, Billy
Joel. Your daughter looks like James Earl Ray.
Come on.
I'm just guessing. I've never seen your daughter. I did a little joke. That's just a joke.
Everyone loves Billy Ray.
Yeah. Cyrus. Here's Charlie. This is Charlie.
This is Charlie.
What can we do? Yeah.
Billy, what the F are you doing on that show? You guys think we need to get settled back? I think that's what we need.
Right now, he's taking up a lot of oxygen in the studio.
I think that we need to get settled back. What the F are you doing with an alcoholic phone answer in your radio station?
No, it's a recovering alcoholic. It's different between being active. Recovering alcoholics make the best employees.
Why is that?
Because they're grateful. They're grateful that you kept.
You're grateful to me at Fez?
Oh, I'm very grateful to you guys. Stuck with me through some hard times and stuff, and
you just keep showing up.
I'm having one of them right now. This is again. I'm sticking with you through hard times.
Having a hard time.
Here's Anthony. You're around at Fez.
Hey, Anthony, go ahead.
Hey, just out of curiosity, is Billy still taking cocaine? Is he still drinking? I mean, I'm just curious.
Oh no, absolutely.
How the hell can you possibly put a child in a vehicle while you're taking cocaine and drinking some kind of alcohol and expect that there's some kind of good to come from it?
Absolutely none. It was a very, very stupid thing to do. I was going through a very tough time in my life. I was very active, and it was a terrible thing to do. And but when you're under the influence and when you're like wired off out of your mind, you don't do proper things. And it was, God, I regret it to this day, but I'm very thankful nothing happened.
Really, at what point do you say enough's enough, man?
No, I said it. I'm clean and sober.
Do you actually turn to yourself and say, hey, man, that is not a good thing to do? You shouldn't even have came to that point. You took a child and put her in complete danger.
Unfortunately, when you're an alcoholic,
you look back on it and you start giggling about it. That's not right at all.
I'm not giggling. I'm an alcoholic. I have a disease. And you know what? Those who don't have the disease can't understand what it's like.
Obesity.
What's the disease? You got the flu or some kind of typhoid?
I have alcoholism. I have the disease of addiction.
You're as big as the piano man.
All right, how is that a disease? I never understood that. You can catch it?
Oh, no, it's actually hereditary.
Oh.
I firmly believe it's hereditary.
You're a baby alcoholic?
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, that's a good idea. Why don't you blame it on your dad? Blame it on your mom.
No, buddy. Why are you getting so angry for?
I mean, it's not right at all.
No, it wasn't right. And I'm agreeing with you. So why are you so angry? You know, but you got to cut me a little slack. You know, I'm an alcoholic. I was active at the time, and I've made changes in my life.
That's like saying I shoplift for a living, so someone should cut me a break.
Yeah, if you're a kleptomaniac, without a doubt, that's a disease.
That's a disease.
Kleptomaniacism is a disease.
Oh, give me a break.
All right, see you later, my man.
All right.
Hey, Billy, let me ask you this. The very first time that you went into any sort of recovery program.
Correct.
What was the low that you hit? What was the catalyst to make you finally go into some sort of program?
An arrest.
You got arrested?
Yeah. For driving under the influence.
So you went in kind of because they said go in or you're in the jail?
Well, actually, this was only my first one, so this was only like a slap on the wrist, but they made me go to like 5 counseling sessions, and you had to go to drunk driving school.
All right, so that one really wasn't your choice.
No, but there was, because of that, they made you go to AA meetings. I had to go to 2 AA meetings. I had to go to like 5 counseling sessions and a couple of seminars, and then this whole drunk driving school, which you had to go to at the college.
Right.
Which is
you didn't need to go to school. You know how to drive drunk.
Well, no, but you have to go
teach.
This is the only.
Professor Staples.
His dad used to take him to the morgue, and he used to try to put his daughter in the morgue. Luckily, nothing happened.
Well, yeah, it was a stupid, I'm sure everyone has a skeleton in their closet of things they don't like to admit to.
It's the Run Official at 866-277-4969. Let me ask you this, Billy. Can you look at a person and tell whether he's an alcoholic, whether he has the disease or not?
Absolutely not.
You can't look around the room. You as a person and see the behavior of some of us and be able to tell whether they're an alcoholic addict?
I mean, because you've seen us all drink. You know our patterns.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell by hanging out with people and watching them drink, but I just can't look at a person, like they don't have a huge goiter on their neck.
No, I know it's not the big goiter neck thing. All right, but let's look around and at some of the people here that, you spent a lot of time with and go through whether or not you think they have tendencies or even a chance to become alcoholics or addicts.
Okay, well, there's a difference between an alcohol, you can be an alcoholic or somebody just has a drinking problem.
Right. Okay, so maybe you can explain that difference to us.
Yeah, what's that? I never knew
somebody
that.
Somebody has a drinking problem is that they drink a lot, but it doesn't interfere with their life. Their lifestyle has not become unmanageable. It hasn't ruined their life.
So where's the problem part come in?
It's just that they tend to drink too much, occasionally. Their life is not a mess. They haven't hit a bottom. They haven't lost everything. They haven't lost their life, their wife, their family, their car, their job.
But they are out getting wrecked.
Yeah, they do have a drinking problem. Drinking problems can lead to alcoholism. It is the next step. But there are people who just
stay problem drinkers and never become alcoholics, and then they go to AA and they go, no, you need to be problem drinkers, A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there is
1A.
No, because no one can call anybody. Only you can call yourself an alcoholic, really.
Only you can diagnose yourself as having the disease.
I could call you an alcoholic, Billy. Easily.
All right, if you take a look at Fez.
As I said, I am.
Any kind of problems you could run into?
Fez is a problem drinker.
I'm a problem drinker?
Yeah. When you see a guy with a beer in both hands and partying and stuff.
But he never seems to be trouble. He doesn't... he does party, there's no doubt about it.
I mean, I don't drive drunk.
Or push people, or it doesn't seem like his mood changes.
I don't get in a fight.
I should say the possibility is there. Let me just say that.
All right, what would be some of the problems you could see Fez having?
When you go out and, you like to be the last one to leave, and always having never being without a cocktail in your hand. And like getting loud when you get loud.
Hey, but I don't get loud.
Does he get loud? I find him always loud. I don't just for his drinking.
I'm loud when I'm sober.
All right, what about a football game? We always say, hey, he's the second half drinker. He never drinks to the second half.
Well, that's like control drinking. That's a sign of alcoholism when you do control drinking.
Now, what the hell does that mean?
How could that be? It seems like an alcoholic would be out of control.
No, see, what a lot of alcoholics will do, and I've done this myself, too, it's like, I'm only going to drink beer. I'm only going to drink on the weekends. I'm only going to go to the bar. I'm just going to have 2 beers, no shots, Nothing hard. You know, it's like you try to control yourself. All right, I'm just not going to give up drinking for a month. After that, I'll be fine. You know, these are I'm only going to drink wine spritzes. Wine is harmless, you know?
Right.
This is like you try to control it your own way by just thinking beer won't hurt you. Alcohol is alcohol. Whether it's in a bottle of beer, if it's in a bottle of gin, or it's in wine.
Well, that I agree with, but I don't understand where if somebody can say, all right, I'm not going to drink, then how that, the fact that I wait till the second half to start drinking during a football game.
Why do you? So you can remember it?
No, not so I can remember it. I don't know if it actually turned into like a superstition thing, watching the football game. But I think to begin with, it was like, I didn't know. I mean, once I start drinking, like I'll just keep having another pitcher brought over. So if I wait till the second half, then, I'm not completely drunk. I'm drinking enough beer to enjoy that game.
But you're saying that's because of his potential for problem, huh?
Well, but the thing is, he's thinking. He goes, he knows if he starts before the game, he'll get drunk.
But I never have. I mean, not that I haven't gotten drunk. I mean, I've never become a problem.
No, this is the thinking.
Oh, nothing.
Well, but have you ever not drinking during the second half?
Where does drank? What country are you from?
I have watched football games without drinking, if that's your question.
No,
yeah.
like a big game where you wanted to drink in the second half, but something happened. Did it ever bother you? I should be having a beer right now, or I'm really not missing not having my beer right now.
Where I didn't drink during the second half because I knew drinking would be a bad thing.
Yeah.
No, have you ever been thirsty? Is what he's asking.
I have no idea what I'm answering here, but no, I don't think so.
No, okay, then I was probably wrong in my assumption, just based on the little bit I've seen of you partying.
One of the things you said, Fez likes to stay to the end.
Oh yeah,
that I do. Yeah. I do like to stay to the end.
Why is that? Because you're an alcoholic?
I don't think so.
Well, I just know that, even when we used to party in the office and stuff, I'd find out, I'd come in first thing on Monday morning, beer cans would be everywhere.
Beer cans were never everywhere.
And the garbage cans, I'm talking about, piled up to the top of the garbage can.
See, now he's saying things like I'm throwing beers around the office.
No, but I know you weren't alone. You were the last
drink now to put up with him?
What's that?
You need a drink now?
It would be nice. A nice shot would be good.
Fez, all of us would like to say some things about when you hurt us when you were drinking, and then hopefully you'll find yourself in. I can't believe that you think this about Fez.
Well, you know what? I just know it because I've been there.
That one I have. I do like to stay to the end.
Why do you think that is? For the beer itself, or?
No, I don't think it's for the beer itself.
But you would never stay till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning if you were sober.
It might be for the. Let me say this. It might be for the beer itself because I would never stay up that late if I was by myself in my apartment. I wouldn't stay up that late drinking. I'm only going to be drinking when I'm around other people.
Have you ever drank alone?
Have I ever drank? Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever drank in the morning?
Do you drink till you're drunk when you're alone?
When I'm alone?
Yeah.
No.
Have you
Not that I know of.
Ever had a drink in the morning?
Have I ever had a drink in the morning?
Vacation?
Yeah, like on vacation, yes.
Okay.
On a road trip, yes.
I mean, I've heard.
What are you kind of getting to, Doctor?
It's just you seem to fit the patterns. Because we have to take a break.
Yes.
And hopefully during the next break we'll be able to sign you in.
I am not getting signed in for anything. I don't have a problem.
Don't you?
No, I don't.
We'll be right back. It's the Ron and Fez Show.
The BetOnSports.com $25,000 prize. Everybody won but Jackson Della.